Okay, so today I am interviewing my roommate's younger brother, Jack. And so can we start off? Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself and like how old you are, like where you go to school, stuff like that?
All right, I'm Jack. I'm 17. I go to East Aurora High School. I play volleyball, basketball, and I run track.
Nice. I'm also going to be taking notes, so that's why there might be some awkward
Okay.
pauses. Okay, so what I'm basically focusing on in this interview is the problem between transitioning from in-person classes to online classes as
Okay.
like COVID has happened. So could you just tell me about like your experience transitioning from online or from in-person to online, like in high school?
Yeah. It was very. You're talking about like in the a few months ago, like
Yeah,
the
you
start.
can start
Okay.
off there. Have you started classes this fall yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so yeah, you can start off back there in like March.
It was very different because you didn't have like that in-person interaction, and also like the teachers weren't like prepared, obviously, which like they not like they should have been.
Hmm.
So like there's like kind of a lack of communication on like between that. So like the teacher just had to give us like busy work. So it was kind of hard to actually like learn things while we were away from school, if
So
that
what
makes
was
sense.
what do you mean like by busy work? Like what sorts of things were you given?
So like through the Google Classroom, they'd give us like, oh, read this article and answer questions. So like stuff like that. Besides like instead of going through like actual like notes or anything like that in a specific subject.
So you guys weren't like did all classes do this or did you have like notes or PowerPoints in some of your classes?
Pretty much all classes were just like the busy work.
Oh wow.
Besides math. Math was different though.
What did you do in math?
Well, it's funny actually. My teacher, she did it a reverse classroom. So she had already like for the past like 4 years, I think, she filmed herself teaching each lesson. And so like since the start of the school year last year, we'd always watch the videos at home and then do the homework in class. And so that's why that was different because she'd like already like
So she seemed
had
like
it
she was already
reversed.
like prepared for it,
Yes,
even though she
exactly.
probably didn't intentionally know that like
No,
COVID was
yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah, exactly.
So, through your experience, what would you say were like the three biggest problems that you faced in this transition?
I'd say the lack of human interaction, definitely.
So why was that difficult? What made that like different and not as good as being in person?
It's just better to be able like talking to someone like face to face and like actually being there
Hmm.
with not only my like the students but like also like the teachers and everything like that. So it's like it makes it like the learning environment easier and everything.
Hmm. Okay. So um okay, so lack of human interaction. Do you have
Hmm.
any other problems that were like the biggest ones?
Yes. Trying to think how to word it. I'd say less productivity in online schooling, or
What do you
less
mean by that?
motivation, I could
Yeah, less
say.
motivation.
Because like online schooling, you feel less engaged than you would in a normal classroom.
Why is that?
And just like kind of going with the first one, like you're not actually there talking to the teacher.
Hmm.
Teacher just tells you, "Oh, read this article and answer these questions." So it's more like independent based and
You
not
have to
really like
like rely on yourself.
engaging.
Hmm. Do you think you have a third problem, or were those the two major ones?
Those were the two major ones.
Okay. So Jules told me a little bit about how you've taken like science labs for different sciences. I'm not sure which one she said exactly. Were you in a science lab last year when this happened?
Yes, I was in chemistry.
How was that like transition to online, and like how did the coursework kind of change with that?
Um, well, the teacher didn't really wasn't too fond, I guess, on like the computer work and stuff like that. So when it first started, he took a solid 2 weeks before he learned how to post things and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I was doing chemistry was like a lot of fun, but once online schooling happened, there wasn't much learning for the class, which was kind of a bummer. Because this teacher just started just posting like the note packet and stuff, and so we were expected to like fill in the notes and then print off the homework or test or quiz and complete it ourselves.
So did you feel like you were teaching yourself teaching yourself the information, or was it just like no more additional information really like got taught?
No more additional information really got taught, I'd say.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of switch to talking about like feedback. So how were your classes like assessed? Like, was it all pretty much just like online coursework that you had to complete, or was there ever, because I know at least I've taken a lot of science labs, and
Hmm.
sometimes we have things like practicals where we have to do an actual like hands-on thing and be watched,
Okay.
basically, and they assess like how we dissect something or whatever. Did
Yeah.
you have anything like that, or was everything kind of like cut and cold, like this is right, this is wrong, sort of homework?
Pretty much everything was cut and cold.
Did you feel like you received sufficient feedback from your teachers through this?
What do you mean by that?
Like with like homework assignments and stuff like that, were they able to like communicate clearly with you like problems that you might have had, or like where you went wrong on some problems or stuff like that?
Only a couple teachers. And I feel like part of that was just the teachers wanting to reach out to the students.
Hmm.
Like one was my algebra teacher, who was the one who actually had like the lessons played on video.
Hmm.
Every week she would assign or she would have like an open Zoom meeting, and she would let us go in and like ask her questions about a topic or anything like that.
Was that
And
helpful?
then yes, it was very helpful, especially when you didn't understand anything in the video.
Right.
You got to see her actually like do it out because she had like her whiteboard at home. She would go through. And then my Latin teacher, he had us email him a picture of all the assignments we had to do for him. And he would always email you back with like, oh, great job on this. You missed this vocabulary, like stuff like that.
Hmm. But you said only a couple of these teachers really did that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. I don't really have any more questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add just about your experience?
Um, Not really. Just that it wasn't a very good schooling experience,
Do you know how
and
it's
didn't.
going to be this fall when you go back?
Yeah. So starting back, we're gonna do Monday through Wednesday, or they split us into two groups. The first group goes to school in person Monday, Tuesday, and then has online schooling Wednesday through Friday. And then my group, we have online schooling Monday through Wednesday and go to school Thursday, Fridays.
Okay. Are they doing so are you going to be like zooming like using Zoom or other platforms like that on the days that you're online? Or is it just going to kind of be like coursework's posted and you just have to do it?
I'm being told, or I've heard that we're supposed to be having like Zoom meetings, and I've also heard that the kids who aren't in person on that day, the class is just like streamed
Oh,
like online.
so that you kind of like,
But I'm not sure if that's correct.
oh,
But
yeah. Okay. Well, great. Thank you for letting me interview you.
oh yeah, no problem.
I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.